As we know that when we talk about ideal transformer, then we peoples have learned that we decide that the transformer's losses are nearly equal to zero. The kind of losses occurs on transformer are basically of two types, that is iron loss and copper loss, and we consider both as zero or minimum. In case of practical transformer, we have to consider the losses transformer as in core and copper. One is iron losses and second one is your copper losses. The copper losses in the transformer are due to the resistance present in the windings, and we will discuss about the resistance and which is occurred in the winding due to the material which is taken for the making winding. For iron losses, the iron loss depends upon the supply frequency, core volume, maximum flux density in the core, and magnitude of iron losses is quite small in case of practical transformer. Means the iron loss is very less, it is just to 1 to 2% of that of whole losses in the transformer. Second types of losses are copper losses, and these are occurred due to the presence of winding resistance in the windings. As we know that there are two windings, one is primary and secondary windings present in the transformer, and both windings are made up of certain materials. For example, this winding could be of copper and aluminium, as they both are good conductor but having certain value of resistances. When a fixed amount of current or a variable amount of current will flow from that, it will lead to the power losses by the formula P is equal to VI or P is equal to I square R, where V is equal to IR, we know that. Due to this, there is a loss, that is I square, which is square of the current into resistance, and this will lead to the copper losses present in the transformer. When current flow through the winding, there will be a power loss and a loss in the voltage are due to IR drop. As we know that when there is a IR drop, it is called as power loss because V is equal to IR and the loss is given by I square R, so it is called power loss as stated in the statement. Hence E1 will be less than V1. For example, if we think that V is the applied voltage and R1 is the winding resistance produced winding resistance in the winding, and E1 is the induced EMF in the primary winding by the self induction. Earlier, in case of ideal transformer, we have studied that if we take as transformer as ideal, means resistance as nearly equal to 0, therefore V1 is nearly equal to E1 in case of ideal transformer. But in case of practical transformer, V1 is not equal to E1 because some of the amount which is IR drop is here in the transformer, and E1 is always less than V1, where V2 will be less than E2. Means when a E2 amount of EMF is produced in secondary of the transformer by mutual induction, here if the amount of EMF is E2 and the resistance in this winding is R2, then there is a voltage drop called IR here, and due to this there is a drop in the value of E2, and ultimately the resultant V2 is always less than E2 present here. Other losses are due to the leakages. For example, primary current produce some flux phi1 not linked with the secondary winding. For example, we consider that when we applied a voltage V1 here, and there is a current flow I1 in primary winding, and this current is responsible for the production of flux here. This current is responsible for the production of current in the winding, and which is ultimately produces flux in the winding. Means I1 is responsible for production of flux in the in the core of the transformer. If this amount of flux, that is not linked with the same amount in this winding winding N2, then we called as leakage of flux. Primary current produces some flux phi1 not linked with the secondary winding, means same amount of flux is not linking, therefore we can call as leakage. For example, in a pipe, when you have certain amount of water in inlet and you peoples do not find same amount of water at outlet, you will call that the pipe have a leak. In same manner, here we have a flux linkage. If same amount of flux in the primary produced by the current I1 in the primary will not leak, will not go to the secondary. Secondary current produces some flux phi2 not linked with the primary winding. Sometimes we know that as I2 is the current will flow into secondary winding, it will produce a flux in the secondary, and that amount of flux is not go to primary. It is called leakage of flux. The primary and secondary leakage flux are phi1 and phi2 induces an inductive reactance. Due to that, there is a production of reactance x1 and x2 in the series with the primary and secondary winding of the transformer. Next we have transformer on no load. Means we have a transformer and we have taken the secondary of transformer as open. At that time, how the transformer should be behave, this is the our topic. Then the primary, for example, we have taken a transformer here and we have provided a voltage V1 in the primary, and therefore due to self induction there is a production of EMF, that is E1 in the primary, and it will lead to the production of flux which will ultimately go through the core and link to the secondary. At this point we know that V1 is the applied voltage, and V, according to Lenz law, it is equal and opposite to that of E2, but in the opposite direction. Why the V1 and E2 are in different direction? Because of Lenz law. Hence primary no load current I0 is not 90 degree behind the applied voltage V1, but lags it by an angle phi less than 90 degree. Means as V1 is the applied voltage and there should be a current that is called I1 which could be flow in this, but there is a small current that is no load current. I0 is the no load current will flow which is not 90 degree phase behind, but it is something less than 90 degree phase behind from the applied voltage V1. If we resolve the I0 into two components, the I0 should have two components, that is I0 and IW and IM. What is it? Is magnetizing component and one is magnetizing component or wattful component and wattful component. What is magnetizing component? Magnetizing component are those component of current which is responsible for the production of flux. That IW component is in phase with applied voltage V1 is known as active working or iron loss component and supply the iron loss as small primary copper loss. Here one component is responsible for the production of flux and other component, that is IW, is also called active component. This is also called active component, and magnetizing component is also called reactive component. IW is responsible for the production of for the supply of core loss and copper loss in the transformer, and IM is responsible for the production of flux. That's why it is taken in the direction as IM is responsible for the production of flux, so it is taken with the flux, and IW is responsible for the providing losses. If we take the resultant of both this vector as this vector, then we find that both component IW square plus IM square is ultimately equal to I0 square. IW is called I0 cos of phi, IW is called I0 cos of phi, and IM is called I0 sin of phi. by component I am lagging behind V1 by 90 degree and magnetizing component, and I have stated that I am is equal to I naught sin of phi naught. अगर हम इसका रिजल्टेंट निकालें, क्लियरली I naught is in phasor sum of I m plus I w, then it is called I naught का स्क्वायर is equal to I m का स्क्वायर plus I w का स्क्वायर, और you can write that I naught is equal to under the root I m square plus I w का स्क्वायर. You people know that cos phi, what is cos phi? That is cos phi क्या है आपका? This is power factor. Cos phi is power factor. From this derivation you will find that cos phi is equal to IW upon I naught. अब होगा क्या? ये I naught यहाँ चला जाएगा नीचे, तो ये क्या हो जाएगा? cos phi is equal to IW upon I naught. No load primary copper loss. It is very small count. Means in case of open circuit test or open no load test or no load transformer, we have a very small amount of copper loss because I naught has very less amount. For example, if I naught have 0.2, what is the square of 0.2? It is 0.04, which is less than the value of 0.2. Means as we have very small value of current, the losses are very less, so it can be neglected. In no load transformer, we neglect the copper loss and we will consider only the iron loss. So no load output power, that is IW is equal to iron loss is equal to V1 I naught cos of phi naught. V1 I naught cos of phi 2. At no load there is no secondary current, because there is no load, there is current is nearly equal to 0. Then V2 is equal to E2, and on that primary side the drop in R1 and X1 are very small. अगर बोलता है ये अगर आपका ट्रांसफार्मर क्या है, नो लोड पे है, तो क्या करेगा? नो लोड मतलब वेरी स्मॉल अमाउंट ऑफ करंट विल फ्लो इनटू सेकेंडरी और इट इज नियरली इक्वल टू 0. देन V2 जो आपका सेकेंडरी वोल्टेज होगा उसकी किसके बराबर हो जाएगा? सेकेंडरी EMF के बराबर हो जाएगा. एंड R1 और X1 आर वेरी स्मॉल, दैट इज V1 इज इक्वल टू E1, और इसकी वजह से क्या होगा? R1 और X1 क्या होंगे? बहुत ज़्यादा कम होंगे. हेयर आई हैव ए प्रॉब्लम, यू कैन राइट इट. दैट प्रॉब्लम is a 2200 to 200 volt transformer draw a no load primary current of 0.6 amperes and absorb 400 watts. Find the magnetizing and iron loss currents present. Here we have given some values. Here if अगर आपको क्या दिया हो, ट्रांसफार्मर में से दिया हो, तो it is 2200 to 200 transformer draw a no load primary current. Means this is your primary voltage and this is your secondary voltage. Here it is primary and secondary and it is on no load primary, means V1 and E1 are equal. Then therefore you can write here as E1 is equal to 2200 and E2 is equal to 200. Draw a no load primary current. I naught means I naught की वैल्यू दे रखी है, that is 0.6 ampere with absorb 400 watts, means no load input is 400 watt. What find the magnetizing? What is I have to find IW and IM मैंने find out करना है. अब हमें पता है, क्या पता है हमें? नो लोड पावर P इज इक्वल टू क्या लिखा हमने? VI cos phi, और VI यानी E इंटू आई नॉट. हेयर अगर आप पिछली डेरिवेशन से देखें यहाँ से, तो हमने क्या लिखा? नो लोड आयरन लॉस इज इक्वल टू V1 इंटू आई नॉट कॉस ऑफ फाई. V1 मीन्स E1 in this case, I naught is no load current and cos phi is power factor. From here you can write that but Vi cos phi, what is this? This is power. We have given the value of power, means put here, that is IW is equal to what is no load input, power input, that is 400 as given. Primary voltage we have given is 2200. You can find the value of IW, that is 0.182 amps. अब आपके पास IW आ गया, यू हैव टू फाइंड IM. अब हमारे पास एक फॉर्मूला है, क्या है फॉर्मूला? दैट इज I नॉट स्क्वायर इज इक्वल टू IW स्क्वायर प्लस IM स्क्वायर. ये फॉर्मूला कहाँ से लिया गया है? ये सेम फॉर्मूला है, ये फॉर्मूला. इसको अगर आप अंडर रूट को यहाँ ले जाएंगे तो क्या बन जाएगा? स्क्वायर बन जाएगा. तो यहाँ से लिखा जा सकता है I नॉट स्क्वायर इज इक्वल टू IW स्क्वायर प्लस IM स्क्वायर. तो यहाँ से IMV की वैल्यू निकल जाएगी वेरी इजीली, दैट इज I naught square minus IW square under the root. What is the value of I naught given as? I naught की वैल्यू कितनी दी है 0.6 amps माइनस वी हैव फाइंड द वैल्यू ऑफ आयरन लॉस दैट इज 0.182. आप यहाँ से फाइंड आउट कर देंगे IM का वैल्यू. नेक्स्ट प्रॉब्लम ये आपके लिए, आप इसको नोट कर सकते हैं. नोट करिए जल्दी. यहाँ पे आप थर्ड क्वेश्चन को देख सकते हैं. वी हैव गिवन द सॉल्यूशन दैट इन थर्ड क्वेश्चन वी हैव गिवन द वैल्यू ऑफ I naught is equal to 0.6 amps, W naught is equal to 64 watt, E1 is taken as 200 volt and frequency is given that 50 hertz. In no load primary power, that is W naught is equal to VI cos phi. Same formula is there. And iron loss IW is equal to I naught cos of phi, where we have given the value of W naught upon V1. Iron loss is equal to IW upon 64 upon 200, and same formula is there for this. Next topic we have given, we have taken, that is loading of transformer. When we talk about loading, then we have taken that the ideal transformer is on no loading, means we have taken an ideal transformer and we have to load it. In this case we have taken a transformer that you will find that here we have the primary number of turns at N1 and secondary number of turns at N2, and I2 is the secondary current, I1 is the primary current, and ZL is the load which I am talking about. Means we have load the transformer with an impedance with value of this ZL. From that, from the secondary side, we can write that the secondary EMF E2 will cause a current I2 to flow through the load. Earlier in case when transformer is on no load, जब मैंने पिछला ट्रांसफॉर्मर की बात किया तो उसमें क्या था, ट्रांसफॉर्मर के ऊपर लोड नहीं था, तो हम बोल रहे थे कि I2 की वैल्यू क्या होगी, बहुत ज़्यादा कम होगी या जीरो के बराबर होगी. देयरफॉर E2 किसके बराबर बोला था मैंने, V2 के. लेकिन यहाँ पर क्या है, यहाँ पर ZL है, एक ट्रांसफॉर्मर के ऊपर आपका लोड है, तो फ्रॉम V is equal to IR, you will find that V is equal to IR, you can say that B is equal to IZ, you can find that I2 की वैल्यू को क्या लिख सकते हैं, that is E2 upon ZL is equal to V2 upon ZL. एक ही बात है. In case of inductive load, the current I2 lags behind V2 or E2 by phi 2. Means जैसे मैंने आपके लिए एक फेजर डायग्राम बनाया जो आपका नो लोड पे था. नो लोड का जो डायग्राम था उसमें क्या था, ये V1 था, ये आपका क्या था, फाई था, ये आपका क्या था, E2 और E1 दोनों था. लेकिन इसमें क्या है, E2 किसके बराबर था, V2 के बराबर हम लिया था, और K के वैल्यू क्या लिया, 1. अगर आपने लिखा है, मैं बोलता हूँ कि V1 मैंने कोई अप्लाई किया वोल्टेज और उसकी वजह से कोई करंट फ्लो कर रहा है I1, ठीक है. अगर उसकी वजह से कम फ्लो कर रहा है तो I1 का वैल्यू क्या I1 क्या करेगा, उसको लैग करेगा बाय एन एंगल फाई. सेम एज दैट इफ V2 कोई वोल्टेज फ्लो कर रहा है, उसकी वजह से क्या करेगा, अगर कोई करंट फ्लो करेगा तो वो भी क्या करेगा, उसको लैग करेगा बाय एन एंगल, और उन दोनों के बीच का एंगल क्या होना चाहिए, फाई 2. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, व्हेन वी टॉक अबाउट फेजर, if we are going from this side to this side, means if we are going from anti-clockwise direction, we will call it as lead. क्या बोलेंगे हम उसको, lead. अगर हम clockwise direction में चलेंगे तो उसको बोलेंगे lag. अगर हम बोलेंगे यहाँ से कि I1 is lagging behind V1 by an angle phi 1, I1 is lagging behind V1 by angle phi 1, or we can say that V1 is leading from I1 from an angle phi 1. अब हम क्या बोलेंगे, V1 I1 को लीड कर रहा है या बोलेंगे I1 V1 से लैग कर रहा है, बात एक ही है। वैसे ही इस केस में हम क्या कहेंगे कि I2 is lagging behind an angle phi 2 from V2, or we can say that V1 is leading from I2 with an angle phi 2। अब K क्या लिख दिया इसने, K लिख दिया इसने ट्रांसफॉर्मर रेशो, that is N2 upon N1, or from here you can write that I1 upon I2 is equal to also K, because you draw transformer ratio you can write here from the very first lecture, that is V1 upon V2 is equal to E1 upon E2 is equal to I2 upon I1 is equal to 1 over K। ये हमारा फॉर्मूला था, और बहुत सी बुक्स में उल्टा भी लिख रखा होता है, जिसमें क्या लिखा होता है, V2 अपॉन V1 लिखा होता है तो उसमें I1 अपॉन I2 हो जाएगा, मीन्स करंट इज अपोजिट टू दैट ऑफ वोल्टेज एंड टर्न रेशियो। इन आइडियल केस I2 सेट अप an MMF N2 I2 which produces a flux phi 2 in the opposite direction to the magnetic flux phi 1 set up in the primary by an magnetizing current, changing the main flux in the core, and back EMF EV2 tends to be reduced. Momentarily the V1 gain upper hand over E1 and cause more current to flow in the primary, and primary develops an MMF which exactly counterbalance the secondary MMF N2 I2. Therefore the primary current I1 flows such that is N1 I1 is equal to N2 I2। तो कैसे फ्लो करता है कि N1 I1, या तो क्या होगा, अगर आपका N1 की वैल्यू कम होगी तो I1 की वैल्यू ज़्यादा होगी, क्योंकि ये क्या है, ट्रांसफॉर्मर रेशो है। वैसे ही अगर आपका N2 की वैल्यू अगर ज़्यादा होगी तो I2 की वैल्यू क्या हो जाएगी, कम हो जाएगा। तो यहाँ से आप फाइंड आउट कर सकते हैं, दैट इज I1 इज इक्वल टू N2 अपॉन N1 इंटू I2, वेयर N2 अपॉन N1 आई हैव रिटन द वैल्यू इज इक्वल टू K। मतलब I1 का जो वैल्यू होगा वो किसके बराबर होगा, K इंटू I2 के बराबर होगा। दस द सेकेंडरी करंट, जो आपका सेकेंडरी करंट है उसको हम प्राइमरी में लेके जा सकता है। अब हम बोलते हैं कि I1 कितना है, I1 कितना है, I1 इज द प्राइमरी करंट, मीन्स प्राइमरी करंट इज इक्वल टू K टाइम्स द सेकेंडरी करंट। क्या लिखा मैंने, प्राइमरी करंट इज इक्वल टू द K टाइम ऑफ सेकेंडरी करंट। दस एंड सेकेंडरी करंट इंक्रीजेज, द प्राइमरी करंट I1 इज इक्वल टू K I2 ऑल्सो इंक्रीजेज टू कीप द म्यूचुअल फ्लक्स फाई एस कॉन्स्टेंट। अगर बोलता है कि ये अगर इंक्रीज करेगा तो ये भी इंक्रीज करेगा, किस लिए, ताकि फ्लक्स क्या रहे, दोनों के बीच में कांस्टेंट रहे। द पावर इनपुट ऑटोमेटिकली इंक्रीजेज विद डिक्रीज इन आउटपुट पावर। एंड इन केस ऑफ फेजर, फेजर डायग्राम क्या बोलता है, द वैल्यू ऑफ K हैज बीन अज्यूम्ड यूनिटी सो दैट प्राइमरी फेजर आर इक्वल टू सेकेंडरी फेजर। K की वैल्यू को यूनिटी लिया गया है ताकि प्राइमरी फेजर और सेकेंडरी फेजर एक जैसा लगे। देयरफॉर सेकेंडरी करंट I2 lags behind V2 by phi 2 causing in primary current I1 is equal to K into I2, where K is equal to 1, that is I2 is equal to I1 is equal to I2, which is anti-phase within 1. Phi 1 is equal to phi 2, cos phi 1 is equal to cos phi 2. Since there are no losses in the ideal transformer, input primary power is equal to secondary output power. अब क्या बोलता है कि अगर दोनों का फ्लक्स सेम है, K का वैल्यू 1 है, I1 का वैल्यू I2 के बराबर है, और उन दोनों का पावर फैक्टर भी सेम है, तो ट्रांसफॉर्मर को आइडियल कहा जाएगा। और उस केस में जो इनपुट पावर होगा वो किसके बराबर होगा, आउटपुट पावर होगा। और उस टाइम पे हम क्या कहेंगे कि ट्रांसफॉर्मर के बीच में कोई भी लॉस नहीं हुआ है, और ऐसा होना लगभग इम्पॉसिबल है, लेकिन ये हम आइडियल ट्रांसफॉर्मर के केस में पढ़ते हैं। We have certain problems from the loading of transformer, that is please write, इसको नोट करिएगा आप, जल्दी करिए। okay, here in the solution we have given the different values for example N1 is equal to 90, N2 is equal to 2250, V2 is equal to 200 volts, and F is equal to 50 hertz, I2 is equal to 2 ampere, and cos phi is equal to 0.8 lagging. We have to find the value of I1 and phi m. From here you can see that transformer ratio, we have the value of N1 and N2 given. You can find the value of K From value of K we have 25. What is primary current? We have I1 is equal to K into I2. We have discussed it earlier, and we can find the value of I1 is equal to 50 amps. In primary induced voltage we have what is this equation? That is EMF equation of the transformer. What is EMF equation? That is E is equal to 4.44 F phi into sometime T, sometime N. Means in some of the books it is T. T is number of turns, N1 is also number of turns. You can find the value of flux from here. That is 0.01 Weber. Secondary induced voltage E2 is equal to K into E1, and from here you can find the value of secondary induced voltage and secondary current, that is phase angle, that is phi 2 is equal to cos inverse 0.8, which is 36.9 degree. So this is all about